This man stayed up all night playing games. By the next day, when he stepped outside, his heart failed, and he died. When he opened his eyes again, he saw a woman. He thought she was a nurse in the hospital. But the next second, he saw a dog with wings, and then a maid came over. On the tray, he saw his own reflection. He had turned into a baby, still from a wealthy family. He also realized he had a skill. His eyes could perform skill identification. He could see everyone's attributes, and the first person he identified had very average attributes, but his soldier qualifications were very high. So Jack decided to have him try archery, even though the soldier had never used a bow before. Jack really wanted him to try. The soldier agreed, and when he shot the arrow, everyone was shocked. He thought it was just luck that he hit the bullseye, so he tried a few more times, and each time he hit the target. Everyone praised him, and the soldier decided to switch from being a gunner to an engineer. However, everyone was puzzled about why Jack knew this. Jack didn't want them to know that he could perform identification, so he lied, saying it was just a hunch. But Jack didn't expect that his father would find out about this. Fortunately, his father didn't care too much. He just told Jack to practice more, since one day Jack would become a lord, and finding talent was an essential skill. Jack agreed but was still worried because he had already learned about this country and realized that his situation wasn't good. The people of the country were rebelling, and the country was corrupt. Eventually, war would break out, and when that happened, Jack would have to fight as a lord. Thinking about this made Jack feel fearful. Jack wrapped himself in a cloak and went out into the streets, hoping to find talented people. He used his identification skill on the people he saw, thinking that if he could find someone with high potential, the country would be saved. However, after searching for a long time, he still couldn't find anyone. Exhausted, Jack sat down to rest when he saw a beggar being kicked out of a shop. People around were disdainful of the beggar. Jack quickly realized that the beggar was an outsider, and outsiders were often slaves here, so everyone hated them. However, Jack didn't care about their status and gave the beggar a piece of bread. The beggar, Mike, was deeply touched and immediately began to eat it. Jack then used his identification skill and instantly knew Mike's name, age, and that all his attributes were off the charts. Jack couldn't believe it. He was certain that Mike would become an extraordinary person. Jack knew he couldn't miss such a talent and decided to take Mike back to the kingdom. Mike thought Jack was joking, but when he saw Jack's noble insignia, he realized that Jack was from a noble family. However, Mike was afraid that his status as a slave would make others dislike Jack, so he initially refused. Jack then promised that if Mike agreed to come back with him, he would give him delicious food every day. Mike was about to refuse but was too hungry to resist. After a while, they arrived at the kingdom, and the maid only served Mike a bowl of bean soup. Jack moved a chair for him and told Mike to eat as much as he wanted. He then informed everyone that Mike was now his vassal. The butler was shocked when he heard this and immediately reported it to Jack's father. When Jack's father found out, he rejected the idea of allowing a slave to be Jack's vassal. Jack kept convincing his father, and after considering that Jack had a knack for spotting talent, his father finally agreed. However, Mike would have to defeat him in a swordsmanship simulation battle to prove his worth. Jack thought this was unfair because his father had high attributes, while Mike was only 14, and the gap between them was enormous. After hearing this, Jack's father lowered the requirements. As long as Mike could touch him within the set time, it would count as a win. During their battle, Mike suddenly felt something was wrong. His instincts told him that if he was hit by the wooden sword, he would be cut in half. At this moment, Mike didn't know that his opponent was the nation's top swordsman. The time was running out. Mike looked at Jack, remembering the hope in Jack's eyes. Mike's